Man, I miss Manhattan. What makes me walk through this hellish landscape every weekend? Why do I walk through this hellish landscape every weekend? Oh, that's right, the pizza. Let's go eat. Good old Manhattan. This is why I walk through hell every day, guys. For you guys and because of the food. Because of the wonderful food and the wonderful pizza. Got a little cheese stuck to the edge of the box. No big deal. Guys, I had to get these pepperonis, man. Look at that. Upside Pizza's been on my list for a long time. It's one of those new joints. They got, I think, 2 locations, maybe more. Correct me if I'm wrong. Not sure how many locations they have here in Manhattan. Upside Pizza. It's one of those new joints. They use those electric pizza master ovens. And a lot of these places, these new joints are opening up, and they're using these ovens because they're very versatile. You could crank the temperature up to 900 degrees and make Neapolitans. And you can work with different flours because the oven, the heat is so versatile, and you can either crank it up to 900 degrees or you could crank it down to 550 and make New York style pizzas. So this is kind of like that New York style with that Neapolitan flair. Thick cornicione, a little lighter than usual. Beautiful on the bottom. I heard they use a sourdough starter for this dough. Let's grab this one. This one looks nice. I'm going to grab this one, guys, because that other one got stuck to the box. Ooh, nice and light and fluffy. Nice and airy, exterior crunch. No flop, baby. No flop. Look at that bottom, guys. Ooh, this smells good. I see 2 cheeses. I see fresh mozzarella and low moisture. That's a big plus. That's a big plus, guys. If this thing is nice and salty. Juicy. You could use a crispier first bite. Wasn't in the box long. The place is right on the corner. Not even 100 feet away. They reheated it. Crust doesn't remind me of a high gluten crust. It really doesn't. I don't know for sure, but look at them air pockets, guys. Hear that? The taste of the bread is very good. Check it out, guys. Look at those pepperoni cups. Oh, baby. Let's go in. Good crunch on the bottom. Soft, pillowy center. That's what you want in a Sicilian. Oh, those pepperoni cups. Look how charred they are. Good spice, good oregano. The main event. Now, I fry a lot of cheese, guys. If you love fried cheese, I think frying cheese does a lot to the fat content in the cheese, and it really brings out its flavor. Let's bite into that. All right, folks, it's about that time to move on into the lab and analyze Upside Pizza here in the lovely neighborhood of Nolita, which is an acronym for North of Little Italy. I believe we're in Nolita. Good amount of sauce going, not the pulpiest sauce. This isn't that runny, pulpy sauce that I enjoy, that you typically get on margaritas. This is the type of sauce you typically get on New York style, which this is absolutely in that model. Cornicione in the back, nice and airy, but it's a little chewy inside, but it's not that pasty, gummy chew. It wasn't too bad. The texture of this crust wasn't too bad at all. And that char, guys, despite being charred, you don't get that bitter taste like you do with wood-fired or coal-fired pizzas. You get a little smoky element of flavor from it, don't get me wrong. It is still charred, but it's not coal-fired char, guys. It's not that bitter coal-fired char. 2 cheeses, fresh mozz, which is really good quality, good milk content, really good mozzarella, and the low moisture mozzarella was also very good. I've had much worse than this. A little greasy, baby, but nothing is dripping. Nothing has ever dripped. Look at that wax paper, that gorgeous wax paper. Some grease spots here and there, probably from that greasy pepperoni pie. Decent stuff here, guys. Decent stuff. Pretty light slice. And what do you say we score it? All right, guys, it's about that time. The pizza gets cold. We give it another fold. It's no longer crackling as much as it was when it was hot. It's not crackling. And still not flopping. Not too bad. It's actually starting to droop a little bit. It didn't have the crispy first bite when it was hot, or the second bite. And so for that reason, guys, I'm going to go 7-8. 7-8. It's like very similar to Zazzy's. Very similar. Not sure if it's a combination of flours, but very unique pizza. It does have its own character. I wouldn't call this a quintessential New York slice. I would not. This is very much one of those reborn New York slices. All right, guys, let's move on into the lab and dissect their pepperoni square. Pretty good stuff right here, guys. Pretty good stuff. And yes, I will be comparing it to the Prince Street spicy pepperoni pizza. This wasn't spicy, a little different. Cheese on top, sauce on the bottom. Not undersauced. Lots of sauce under that cheese. A little on the pulpy side. A little tart. A little odd tartness to it. A little strange, stray, sweet tartness to it, which I did not really care for too much, but it wasn't too big of a deal. I really enjoyed the pepperoni on this, though I don't compare it to the ones at Prince Street. I don't think they're as thick. They cup up. Pretty good quality. Hand cut. Not as thick. Cheese, very good, low moisture. Maybe a little bit on the yellow side. Perhaps that's probably due to the fact that there's a ton of grease dripping from that pepperoni onto the cheese and mixing into it, adding to the flavor and giving this pizza a nice porky, salty feel. It's a very salty slice. Not sure if there's any grated cheese on it, but I'll tell you what's also nice and salty is that back. Later that night, I went home and cut the slice in half and was surprised to see a nice, soft, airy center, very plush and pillowy, and a soft bite that ends with a nice crunch on the bottom. Now, for this specialty, guys. Believe it or not, this thing looks gorgeous. It wasn't bad. Maybe a little spongy, not as airy as Da Vinci, the crust. The crisp level on the bottom was there. There was some pretty good crunch level, but it wasn't 3 bolts. It was 2. Nice and dark on the bottom. Very solid Sicilian pizza here. I just did not like the sauce. The sauce threw me off. Crust solid, not the best. And I'm going to go a little lower than the round. I'm going to go 7-7 for this one. It's not exactly the Prince Street Soho Square there, or the spicy pepperoni, whatever they call that thing. Again, this score is going on the specialty scale. This is a specialty slice, so I'm rating it against other pepperoni squares, or pizzas in general, especially the Prince Street Square. The pepperoni wasn't as good, not as thick, and even though I like the pizza, the cheese, and the sauce better than Prince Street, on the pepperoni scale, it falls short. The Sicilian is in the spirit of the Prince Street Square. You don't want to wait in line? Come to Upside. It's pretty good. It's almost up there. It's almost an 8, knocking on the 8's door. Not quite. Be well, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Smash that like. I would appreciate it. Until next time, this is Antonio signing off.